that time to discuss key economic trends and business developments shaping Nigerians' economy and business landscape. I'm Comfort Amadu, and this is Business 24. We're reaching you from the Presidential Roundtable on Agribusiness here in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and I'm your host, Comfort Amadu. Well, the Central Bank of Nigeria's Monetary Policy Committee met in February 2025 and decided to maintain the monetary policy rate at 27.50% alongside other key parameters like the cash reserve ratio and liquidity ratio were left unchanged. Now, the MPC noted stability in the foreign exchange market along with moderate fuel price reductions. Details are coming up shortly. In other news, the recent rebasing of Nigerians' consumer price index by the National Bureau of Statistics is a crucial step towards more accurate measurement of price changes in the economy. And the new exercise shifting the base year from 2009 to 2024 ensures that the CPI more accurately reflects current consumption patterns and inflationary pressures. Now, this precision is vital for business and exporters who are positioning Nigerians' goods in the global markets. Today, we'll also focus on the role of the Nigerian Exporters Hub in expanding Nigerians' reach in the global market, especially in assisting Nigerian exporters to tap into niche markets and meet international demand for agro-commodities. Now, the agribusiness sector is pivotal to Nigeria's economy, contributing significantly to employment and economic stability. Policy makers, industry players, and key stakeholders are coming together to brainstorm to drive transformation in the agribusiness sector. Stay tuned as we dive deep into these topics and other issues on today's show. Welcome to the program.
Welcome to Next Up, the Nigerian Exporters Hub, a forum for different individuals to meet for the purpose of international trade.
At Next Up, the Nigerian Exporters Hub, we simply demystify export, guiding you through the rudiment in exportation. So what are you waiting for?
In Next Up, you get to receive special training on what to export, how to export, where to export, and not only that, we give you market access for you to export all your exportable agro-commodities to China and other Far East region.
All you have to do is to visit our website at www.nigerianexportershub.com. Registration is completely free, but for you to be a part of Next Up, all you have to do is to subscribe. And we have 5 membership plans, and each of these membership plans covers for your training on how to export, what to export, where to export, and whom to export to. And that's not just all. With this subscription plan, you can also be able to export different containers in a year. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Come and connect with us today and let's take your export journey to the next level.
The CBN's Monetary Policy Committee meeting in February 2025 concluded with the decision to maintain the monetary policy rate at 27.50%, and other key parameters were also kept unchanged.
The 299th Monetary Policy Committee meeting wasn't just another gathering. Originally set for February 17 to 18, it was postponed to accommodate new inflation data, and when the numbers came in, big surprises awaited. January rebase inflation rate stands at 24.48%, a contrast from the 34.80% in December 2024. But despite the drop, the battle against inflation is far from over. The CBN chose to hold the monetary policy rate steady, reaffirming its stance in the fight against inflation.
That inflation is trending down and it's looking positive. all the indices are looking positive. Foreign exchange rate, we all know, has started to trend down and is more or less achieved stability. It's been stable, and we've spoken about the differential in the rates down to less than 1%.
The decision, a firm hold on the key interest rate, a signal that the CBN is staying the course in its battle to keep inflation in check. The bank believes that maintaining the current monetary stance will help consolidate gains while avoiding unnecessary shocks to the economy. Meanwhile, the Naira's recent stability in the foreign exchange market suggests that the policy stance may be yielding some positive effects.
So our own objectives have been and will continue to be to achieve stability in the foreign exchange markets and in the financial markets. More investments coming in, which should spur the badly needed growth.
So what does this mean for the average Nigerian? Borrowing rates remain unchanged, inflation control remains a priority, and businesses will be watching closely to see if this decision brings the economic relief they need.
All right, the National Bureau of Statistics has officially rebased Nigerian's Consumer Price Index, moving the base year from 2009 to 2024. This change will provide a more accurate reflection of current economic condition, offering businesses better tools for pricing, forecasting, and investment decision. More reliable data will be essential for navigating the evolving market. What does this mean for businesses and Nigerians' agricultural export sector?
The last rebasing year was 2009, and since then we have been comparing our subsequent data collection on prices with that 2009. You agree with me that that's a long period of time because we have improvement in technology, we have so many policies of government that have come in within that period, and we have advancement in our development within the economy. So in order to account for all this that have affected the purchasing pattern, consumption pattern of households, there is need for us to change the base year to a more current year so that we can be comparing our prices month on month, year on year with current base year. So whatever inflation figure that we are giving now is a true reflection of the current inflationary pressure within the economy. Basically, the important item that we introduce is through the classification that we are using now, which is classification of consumption pattern of households, which we call COICOP 2018. In the previous rebasing, we are using COICOP 1999, which is very old. In that classification, we have just 12 divisions by which we classify items consumed by households. But in this new one, 2018 version that we are using, we have 13 divisions. The additional division there is finance and insurance. And you will see under finance, we have so many products of digital transaction that is going on in the economy now, which were not captured before. The prices of some food items have already started coming down, even entering into January. So it's the rate at which those prices are coming down that is reflected in the inflation rate of 2025. But the actual price level in the market does not come down.
There are renewed efforts by policymakers and industry players to transform Nigeria's agribusiness sector, focusing on climate-smart agriculture and agricultural financing. At the inaugural edition of the Nigerian Agribusiness Group's presidential roundtable discussions centered on aligning government initiative with private sector priorities. And the aim is to foster collaboration in food security, agribusiness competitiveness for economic growth and business development. Now, the Nigerian Agribusiness Group is at the forefront of driving actionable discussions on policies, investments, and innovations critical to advancing Nigeria's agricultural sector. Let's find out how.
The Presidential Roundtable on Agribusiness is the maiden edition, which will be held quarterly at a much smaller scale subsequently and will assemble key policy makers, industry leaders, and stakeholders for a high-level conversation on driving sustainable growth in Nigeria's agricultural sector. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, and other distinguished guests set the tone for policy reforms, investments, and partnerships in agribusiness.
The recapitalization of the Bank of Agriculture is to ensure the availability of sustainable credit facilities to farmers and contributing significantly to the overall productivity of farmers and farm families across the value chain. There are multiple programs geared towards attracting the youth into agriculture and agro-allied activities to enhance their economic generation.
The Nigerian Agribusiness Group plays a critical role in transforming Nigerian agricultural sector into a thriving industrialized economy, therefore advocating for inclusive policies and recognizing smallholder farmers as vital stakeholders. This group is playing a critical role in the transformation of the country's agribusiness landscape.
For the Nigerian Agribusiness Group, it is about presenting key policy briefs to the presidency on various policy areas it had actively worked on, especially seedlings, dairy, and agro-commodities standards.
In Nigeria, what we are saying is, if you become a member of NABG, you stand the chance of becoming prosperous because we always sensitize you as to the importance of agribusiness. I don't want to call people who buy and sell agri-products as middlemen. I want to call them as agribusiness entrepreneurs. I want to call also our people, youth and women who partake in agriculture as agri-entrepreneurs, because the history of the United States, for instance, of food security erupted or sprouted from the work that people did in agribusiness.
As stakeholders in this vital sector, we recognize that sustainable agricultural development cannot be achieved in silos. Strong public-private partnerships are essential in driving investments, ensuring policy coherence, and unlocking the full potential of Nigeria's agricultural value chains.
If you can see today in Nigeria, prices of food is gradually dropping. This to tell you all these initiatives coming up in agriculture, they are really making waves for Nigeria.
And we are glad today that our president has recognized this and has given us the opportunity for us to come together and build the agri firm and make it strong.
Very important areas. How do we increase yield on most of our commodities, most of our crops? Maize, rice, soybean, cowpea, and the likes. How do we address major challenges in our livestock space? Our major issues that we should look at this time, looking at the issue of breed, issue of feed for animals and for livestock as well.
I'm talking more about digital agricultural service providers, that needs to up their game, but we also need to support them. Then I think a major problem also is the handshake between the policy developers and the implementers. There should be a proper handshake between them if we want agriculture to move forward.
Issues to do with standards, especially standards of agro-commodities that we produce here, either for industrial use in the country, for feeding, and also for export. These are things we have all taken for granted, and there is a lot of value that we need to put back.
Points like having a platform that is disruptive or that is adaptive to the changing times, so that it is proactive and not reactive. It sees the challenges and makes room for those challenges before even the issue comes. Talking of climate change,
right? And it's quite important that you have key stakeholders across multiple value chains, multiple sectors in the agribusiness spectrum, discussing and talking about challenges and solutions. And I think these conversations, as you would agree, are very critical, because this is where we'll really start to inform ourselves and enlighten ourselves and share best practices.
Nigeria holds the front line in many of the commodities in the world. For instance, for the sector I'm in, the shea butter shea sector, Nigeria holds about 57% of the entire shea assets in the world. We are supposed to be the forerunner in terms of getting the gains out of shea, but what we get is less than 10%.
So one of the reasons why we're here today is basically to build partnerships, right? To see what other people are doing in the space, right? To hear about some of the great work, and opportunities.
While the Agri Business Group insists on driving actionable solutions on innovations critical to the ecosystem and advancing Nigeria's agricultural sector, the Presidential Roundtable is expected to serve as a forum to align government initiatives with private sector priorities, ensuring a collaborative approach to food security, agribusiness competitiveness, and economic growth. For Business24, Tokwe Alabi.
The Nigerian Exporters Hub, Next Hub, is focusing on helping businesses leverage new market opportunities and agro-commodities value chains. They offer market intelligence, logistical support, and networking opportunities to drive the growth of Nigerians' exports. Let's take a closer look at the strategies Next Hub is adopting to strengthen Nigerians' export industry.
Nigeria is making a concerted effort to boost the production and export of agro-commodities as part of its strategy to diversify the economy away from oil dependence. The government has introduced several policies aimed at increasing agricultural output, including subsidies for farmers, infrastructure development, and better access to financing. However, challenges such as fragmented supply chains and limited market access remained a barrier for local farmers and exporters. Next Hub, Nigeria's Exporters Hub, is playing a critical role in bridging the gap between local farmers and international markets.
We have resolved to aggressively encourage production. We have gone around the world creating awareness about Nigerian commodity, which was well received. We are able to sign a lot of contracts, but we are unable to fulfill those contracts because of low productivity. We encourage every Nigerian. We are looking at all the 774 local governments to produce one commodity each so that we can have enough to export. We want to see how we can have enough cash crops, because my emphasis is on cash crops. Enough cash crops that we can add value to it by getting enough machineries, the efficient machineries, to add value to this product for us to also tap into these niche markets.
The platform offers logistical support and market intelligence, helping agro-processors meet global standards and access new markets.
The market is in excess of 10 billion United States dollars. 10 billion. That is even for the raw. Now, if you're talking about the value-added market, it's like 3-4 times that same number. So for this market, there are those that are high-valued commodity. For instance, cocoa. Last year, cocoa did so well, contributed hugely to the GDP. Cocoa, sesame seeds did so much.
One of its key successes has been in ginger and other key agro-commodities exports, where Nigerian processors with Next Hub's support have expanded into markets in China and Far East region.
As a company, we did a lot of ginger, we did a lot of sesame seeds, we did cassia tora. We tried to do so much in terms of agro-commodity space. We try to see whatever our clients abroad want. That's what we try to promote. And sometimes we look at the items, commodities we have locally, we take it outside and we promote it so that we can create market for it.
The impact of Next Hub's efforts is already being felt in Nigeria.
where increased exports have led to higher incomes for farmers and better infrastructure. With continued support, Nigeria's agricultural sector is poised to play a more significant role in the global market, boosting job creation and economic growth.
Today's export tease focuses on how to purchase and export cassia tora, a valuable agro commodity. Let's walk you through the process.
Exporting cassia tora requires that you source for it. Majorly is a wide-grown product, harvested mostly in the north. So if you want to export cassia tora, you look at the season. We advise that you buy when it's not expensive so that you can make money. You buy, you store, you warehouse, and apart from that, you clean. You look at the moisture content, make sure that it's well dry, then you process it, you bag it. That's how it's done. But most importantly, you must make sure that you buy at the right time. Because if you don't buy at the right time, you buy it too expensive, for you to sell it will be difficult. For example, cassia tora started this year, last year, well over 300 thereabout, but now it's coming to 1,800 per metric ton. So if anybody has bought then, I don't know how it was going to. So it's good to watch the market, and do the needful. Gather market intelligence, when to buy, how to buy, and how to clean, how to package, and ensure that you don't lose. So when it started, we advised our clients to slow down. Those who listen are happier now. Those who did not listen, I'm sure the cost of buying them and the cost of selling that is outrageous. Well, the niche market essentially is in China because they use for pharmaceuticals and other things. We don't use it in the country over here. We don't use cassia tora. I mean, it's not. We are yet to identify the value chain, but it's available. It's been sought after in China. But then, if you have bought high here, there is no way you can meet up, because apart from buying, there is cost of freight, there is cost of logistics, there is cost of a lot of cost. So by the time you put those costs, honestly, it will be too expensive. So it's good to listen, gather market intelligence, know when to buy, know how to store, understand the moisture content, and then just follow us as we do that. I've told you we are going to teach you on how to export, where to export, and how to source, and also give you market access. Just subscribe to our website. Be a subscriber. We have so many platforms for you. And again, you can walk to our office. For example, we are having a free webinar presently talking about it, telling people what to export, how to export, and where to source it from. We are open. Export is still a must for us, but we will be engaging the government on how to make it competitive in terms of cost. And I think that is where we are. The forex looks stable for now. It can be sustained, then we can predict perfectly what the future can say. And again, the cost of things are really, really coming down. So hopefully, we should get ahead very shortly.
Welcome to Next Hub, the Nigerian Exporters Hub, a forum for different individuals to meet for the purpose of international trade.
At Next Hub, the Nigerian Exporters Hub, we simply demystify export, guiding you through the rudiment in exportation. So what are you waiting for?
In Next Hub, you get to receive special training on what to export, how to export, where to export, and not only that, we give you market access for you to export all your exportable agro-commodities to China and other Far East region. All you have to do is to visit our website at www.nigerianexportershub.com. Registration is completely free. But for you to be a part of Next Up, all you have to do is to subscribe. And we have 5 membership plans. And each of these membership plans covers for your training on how to export, what to export, where to export, and whom to export to. And that's not just all. With this subscription plan, you can also be able to export different containers in a year. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Come and connect with us today and let's take your export journey to the next level.
And that's a wrap of this week's edition of Business 24. We hope today's insights have sparked fresh ideas and strategies for your businesses. Don't forget to join us next time for more news, trends, and expert guidance. I'm Comfort Amwadi reminding you to stay innovative and stay successful.